Happy New Year.
We're back.
Great show, kids. 1 in a million.
All right, yeah,
See you later.
All
All right.
All right. It was really good hanging out with you guys.
We're still waiting for Matt's dick to sing.
Yeah, the singing dick ain't happening.
I was
like
having some sinking issues.
It's like Bruno.
You can't say inside jokes that we had before the show began.
I can say whatever I want. This is
Those
America.
jokes, those inside jokes, are literally 7 seconds old.
Everybody tuned in for Jack's new material and Nick's song.
Oh.
That he's hanging up. No.
I was going to hang it up since we just
people
started.
want to hear it.
I don't understand why people want to hear it, really.
It's the best part of the show.
It's free music.
It's the only planned part of the show. All right, let's see if I can get this right. Here we come, walking down the street. We get the funniest looks from everyone we meet. Hey, with the Ramblecast, people say we're rolling around, but we're too busy laughing to put anybody down.
Except for Matt.
I'm just trying to be funny.
With
The looks aren't everything.
That was the first singing dick. Yeah, with the singing dick.
That was your best ones this year.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't seen
Everybody.
you haven't heard my dick sing sea shanties.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, they're old seaman shanties.
There you go. Yeah.
There you are.
I lost it somewhere.
Yeah.
It's been a minute, gentlemen.
Minute and a half.
Have we recorded since like everybody died?
Dude, seriously.
I was expecting another insurrection before we recorded again.
Get off your dick. We don't need your, that.
So let's talk about that real quickly. Not your dick.
Okay. Thank you. I would appreciate if we'd never talk about that again.
But folks who've died, the body count is like fucking ridiculous right now.
I mean, it's like people that you go, oh no. Well, might as well start with the big one, Betty White.
Yeah, Betty White. Obviously, she was the last to go in 2021.
Oh, I thought, are we talking COVID or are we talking like celebrities?
We're just talking about death, period.
Yeah,
Okay.
people fucking
just
dying
death in
and shit.
general.
Yeah,
'Cause,
death in general.
I mean, my brother just today had texted me that this guy he knew had just died of COVID, and
Fuck.
yeah, like it was one of those
from COVID or with COVID?
from COVID, and with COVID.
I was mentioning
It was
to you guys
within
earlier
him and
today.
without him.
I was actually identified as a close contact today.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
But
I
you're vaccinated and boosted. Doesn't that give you
Dude,
something?
it does. But I'll tell you right now, what that does is it says I'm not going to fucking die. I'm likely.
Well, you have a very good chance of not dying.
Yeah.
Very, very
Likely, right? So like, dude, the COVID is fucked right now. Like, and we'll get to that in a second. But let's talk about who else died.
Let's talk about more
COVID's
cheery.
fucking right now. That's the thing.
Let's talk more cheery. But like Betty White is, my wife is.
Let's talk about more cheery things. Betty White.
My wife is
Betty
still,
White, yeah.
My wife is still upset that Betty White passed away.
Well, sure,
Yeah.
dude.
To me, the funniest thing about Betty White's death is that someone put out there, like, it's the most ultimate Betty White troll thing that could possibly happen. It's like, how many magazines were made, like Betty White on her 100th birthday.
100th birthday celebration.
And it's just like, fuck you, everybody.
All of the TV promos that were already made and the people that had already, the celebrities that were like, happy birthday, Betty White.
And she was like a silent exit. That was like the Irish exit of all Irish exits. She's just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going.
Well, I guess she had a stroke 6 days earlier.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
And then just passed away in her sleep.
And then they announced, I think today,
that's a day after Christmas, by the way.
Sorry.
6 days earlier.
And then they announced today that Bob Saget most likely had a heart attack in his sleep.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. So there's the one that is fucking me up hard, dude. And it's fucking Bob Saget. Like, I fucking love that dude. Like, I have been.
You're a big Full House fan.
Yeah. So like, the pandemic really brought me back into full house and full Bob Saget mode. Like I was talking about this with somebody earlier. Is that like, over the pandemic when I first started, we watched Fuller House, and we just crash coursed Full House. And then I started listening to Bob Saget's podcast, which is fucking super sweet. Like it's funny.
Is it still on?
Dude, I listened.
That was fan favorite, by the way.
Sorry,
you're an asshole.
Yeah, Betty White's his next guest.
So he released an episode last week.
I didn't say that. Go ahead.
He released an episode last week in which he had BJ Novak was on it.
Oh.
And I listened to it, and then all of a sudden 2 days later he's fucking dead. So, but like I've just had this. You know, when you listen to someone podcasting, and like you get that connection, and you feel that like.
I don't ever get that.
No, you don't. Okay, well, I don't know. I've been listening to Bob Saget for the better part of the last 6 to 8 months in his podcast, and it's like I feel like I know the dude,
right?
You know what I mean? That's the point I'm getting to, and just like he is such a fucking he was such a great dude, and that's the thing that's really killing me is that like. I loved watching him as a kid, and he's going to be, you know, some might scoff at this, but I think he's like America's TV dad, right? Yeah. He's Danny Tanner, right?
I can agree with that.
And then he had
over Ozzie Nelson.
I don't even know who the fuck that is. So yeah, dude, you're old. So
over Ward Cleaver.
But the thing is, though, is like he also had his reputation of being like the raunchy, dirty comedian, and then he kind of like fell out of that, and he was getting back on his comedic horse again and touring, which is what he was doing when he passed away. But one of the most amazing things about him is how much he fucking loves people. He loves everybody. That's the thing, and everybody loved Bob.
Yeah,
and he. Every single time he had a guest on his show,
him and Norm Macdonald both like within
for sure,
for
sure.
Like,
but Norm Macdonald was very quiet and closed off, whereas Bob Saget was very open with his, you know, whatever. Like on his show, like he would always introduce and kind of like bring his guest in and wish them well, and on the way out was by saying how much he loved them. Like that was the common denominator, saying he always shared how much he loved the person he was.
I'm going to listen to his podcast now.
Oh, you should, dude. It's so good.
You know, and, I mean, it's heartbreaking, and I don't mean to make light of, you know.
No. And so this morning while I was taking a dump, I'm looking at Instagram, right, and what pops up? John Mayer is like going live. No, it wasn't this morning. It was this afternoon. John Mayer went live with who's the comedian Ross, the bald guy who does all the roasts. Jeff Ross.
Jeff Ross, yeah.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Jeff Ross. John Mayer was like super close with Bob. So he and Jeff Ross went to LAX to go retrieve his car because he was on tour.
Right.
And Jeff Ross like started on John Mayer's feed, like he held his phone up and did like like they were driving and just talking about Bob. And it was completely awesome to listen to those two talk. And kind of like reminisce and just kind of share all these crazy stories about Bob and this, that, and the other. But it's amazing of all the people who have died in the last however many years, how many people have just come out of the woodwork and just said how much of an amazing person Bob Saget was. So for me, Bob Saget's the one that really hits home. Like it doesn't seem real. I fucking love that dude, and I think he's amazing. You should check out his podcast because it's amazing. You're gonna feel really good about watching it or listening to it.
With me, I was like when I saw it on Twitter. I go, Bob Saget died?
Yeah, he's only 65.
And I said, Jesus, only 65, which it hits close to me because I'm gonna be 60 next year or this year.
Think how Matt feels.
Yeah,
right.
Jesus, Matt's already 65.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for including me in on that. But
I'm not that old.
No, this time of year though is a very like right around this time of year my mom passed away, and so it's always like that's always kind of really fresh on my mind, and so much so this year was 20 years, March 20 years.
Wow.
And, and I'm getting really close to the age that my mom passed away, and that's a heavy thing. It never leaves you, and I. You know, of all of the things, like it's weird, but like I was thinking about you, Chris, and you losing your dad, you know, and and just like, because it was around this time of year too, you know, like end of Christmas, right?
It was 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah, I knew it was really close. So, I don't mean to bring that up. I just like
it's okay. Yeah, it's
I
all
think,
right.
I think, and any time we talk about celebrity deaths, like I can't help but like emphasize like the people that you love, the people that you know, and I know that listening to a podcast, hell, like I'm sure there's people that listen to us that they're like, hey, I know those guys. That's my family crew,
Right.
It's something unique that I think podcasts give is like this window into people's lives,
Yeah, dude, it's so true, man. And I mean, not to be cheesy, but like I listened to this dude to my left over here, Jack, and I listened to Jay and Jack for so long, right? And I remember now he's up there. I listened to those guys for so long, and it was weird when we first met because I'm like, dude, I know everything about you. Like,
yeah. Well,
I'm the creepy guy you've never met, but I know.
I think you were there. Didn't you send me? You probably were one of the many Patriots fans that sent me a message in 2006 playoff game against the Patriots when the Chargers choked it.
I wouldn't have done that.
I had so many people from. It's like, oh my god, this is ridiculous.
I would not have done that. I wouldn't have. But like, I mean, it's interesting. But Matt, you're so right though. I mean, I remember when Jay and Jack were on with Lost, and it was like, if you sent in a voicemail or an email, it's like just waiting to hear. Are they gonna fucking read it? Right? Do they know who I am? But Nick was like, no, fuck that. Never did.
I know they never played, never read one email of mine. I was like, fuck those guys.
Oh yeah. So but
you know whose fault that was?
Yeah, Jay's.
Jay.
But the reality of it is though, is you build this bond and connection, and it's a lot of the time it's a one-way connection, but I think there might be some people out there who think that of us too, right?
Well, so I think when we have the live tune in, or when people email in to us, it's always like, oh wow, there's people that are listening to this and knowing what.
I get tired. I used to get these unsolicited dick singing
pics.
Yeah, dick singing videos from this anonymous person from Indiana. I was like, what the hell? Just crazy stalkers.
I never got those.
So for what it's worth, I will do my best Bob Saget and say I love you all. I do, and the listeners too. So that's
right back.
That's
the
sweet. Lesson of the day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to just round that out, I mean, like it's very easy, I think, with death to go inward. I mean, that's kind of how I feel when I think about like losing my mom. Like it's a very personal thing. I go very solitary, and it can be hard because that's a very depressive mode to go into, and you kind of get a little bit more me, and it's okay to have some of those moments. Like, for God's sakes, you got to cry about things, but it was this really weird turning point where I was like, I started thinking about Chris, and because you've lost, I thought about Jack, and I thought about how Nick is never going to know what that's like. Nope. And
that's why I'm sitting over quietly. Like I can't empathize.
Well, I'm going to say my dad passed away 5 years ago and I still haven't gotten over it. Just because the way he died. I mean, he died of Lewy body's dementia, and it was like just a shitty way to go. And I was like, man, it's just terrible. And it's just, I can't, I'll think about it all the time, but it's like, I try not to because he wouldn't want me doing that.
Yeah. I was having this conversation actually the other day with my wife because, it's whether it's subconscious or not, like, obviously it's on my mind. And every once in a while I have one of those dreams. And I'm sure Matt and Jack, you guys could probably can align with this too. Is that like I had a really great dream, like a really fucking great one. Like it was one of those almost too real to be a dream scenarios. And it was one of those moments of like acknowledgement, like in the dream, like we acknowledge the fact of everything that was happening, and it gave me a big ass bear hug, and it was awesome, And those are the moments that are just like help you get through.
Yeah. Well, and it's great that you're sharing that about the dreams, because I'm for sure I've had some dreams like that, and sometimes you're missing this person that's been such an important part of your life, and when you have a dream about them and you can feel their essence.
It's fucking wild, man. Yeah. Like that sounds so hippy dippy and bullshit, but it's so fucking true.
Yeah.
I think I talked about this it was maybe a year ago or something like that. I remember I had this like distinct feel, not to get all weird and metaphysical here, but I will. So fuck you.
But I love you.
But I love you.
But I
love you. Hey, you know what you're gonna get from me, right? So, like I had one of those moments in my house where I felt like I was just thinking about him, and I felt like he was there, and I had this fucking overwhelming sensation in my body, like it was like overpowering. Couldn't even explain it. I was not high. I swear to God, I was not high, and it happened, and I was just like, wow, like dude, he was here. That's pretty rad. So, hey man, whatever. And people deal with this type of shit differently, and some people react differently, and whether it's a psychological thing that your mind is playing a trick on you, great, whatever. Mind is a fucking beautiful thing to do that, because it can feel great. So just roll with it, embrace it, and
Yeah, well said. I mean, it's.
I'll take it. I'll fucking take it every day. It actually happened again today for me, because I bought a car today.
What?
Yeah. I'll get to that full story in a minute, but I bought a car today, and it's a fucking good one, and I almost burnt a dealership down with fucking rage. But I bought a Mitsubishi, and every time my dad sneezed, he would say "Bishnu." He would say "Bishnu," like, and you Bishnu, like that was like his thing, Bishnu. So I bought the car, and I'm driving. I was texting my brother as I was driving. Sorry,
while you were driving.
Yeah, and I did. Fuck it, I did. I'm not gonna.
No, I think that's wrong.
98% of this fucking world texts and drives, and
I know.
I'm not gonna pretend like I'm a fucking angel. I did it.
That's why people drive like shit.
Yeah,
but he was wearing a mask while he was doing it, so get over it.
I texted my brother.
But he loves everyone. He loves everyone, so it's okay.
I was texting my brother, and I was saying,
I got you're sexting your brother?
Yeah. Yep, just sexting him right up the butt.
Was it a picture of Matt's dick?
Yeah, was it singing? Was it singing?
And I told him I bought a.
He goes, "Can you zoom that out?"
But as I was typing it, I typed it like I typed the way my dad sneezed, and my brother just started fucking dying laughing. It was awesome. It was one of those moments.
That's nice.
But
you shouldn't text and drive anymore. I don't.
No, I shouldn't. But I mean, we all do. So
I don't.
Sneezing and driving is just as dangerous.
I don't even talk on the cell phone when I'm driving. So I practice what I preach.
Do you TikTok when you're driving?
Nope. No.
I do.
He definitely doesn't. Jack definitely doesn't tweet while he's driving.
No, he can't because he hasn't been able to.
I have another account. Damn it.
Oh.
Anyway, that was a cheery subject. Let's see.
Do we miss somebody that died?
You know what? Another. Yeah. Go ahead.
What's the name from the Ronettes? Ronnie Spector
just
died.
like Ronnie says.
Ronnie Spector died.
That sucks.
And then Sidney Poitier.
Dude. Sidney Poitier. Like, people are just fucking
Michael Nesmith from the Monkees. That's why I thought you did the song, because he didn't pass away before we since we were.
It was
somewhere in that time, yeah.
Somewhere in December. I mean, it seems like we hadn't recorded for like a solid month.
I mean, because I was thinking, who's going to win? Because you have the Beatles have 2 people left, and the Monkees now only have 1.
Oh, I don't think that it's a competition.
It is with me.
It's like
I'm keeping track of it.
I mean,
sure,
really,
the Washington Generals sometimes beat the Harlem Globetrotters. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, really, only Ringo's left because Paul died a long time ago.
That's right. Ooh. He is the walrus.
Oh man. Speaking of walrus.
Go ahead.
Speaking of walrus,
shut the fuck up, Donnie.
So much like media that we've consumed. I think we've all seen Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I've got a list here of all the shit that
I know Jack has.
Watched. Yeah.
I don't watch Spider-Man.
Man, it's one of the best Marvels ever.
I'm not a fan of Spider-Man.
So good.
This one's good.
It's so good.
So good. so good.
Yeah.
So good.
All right, I'll put it on my list.
It was amazing.
Ooh, good one.
So,
to me, it's like, I think I made that. That's the only comment I think I made to you guys about. It was like, that's how you make a fan service film that's also original, and because it addressed a lot of like little inside jokes, especially with the spider webs and like
so good.
So many things, and like even like, oh my god, like Andrew Garfield's scene, like what I'm talking about, like if that didn't make you like almost go like fuck, like
dude,
yes,
dude, absolutely.
Like, there's so many things that were just great,
I thought the entire movie was, to your point, Nick, you hit the nail on the head. I think you're comparing, contrasting Spider-Man No Way Home with Afterlife, and it was a movie in which they had literally 3 different fucking universes, all resolve storylines and story arcs from 3 different universes in one movie, and they did a phenomenal job with it, right? So.
And hats off to Tom Holland for even making this thing fucking happen.
Right.
Because this movie wasn't even going to happen. He went to the mat for this thing.
Right.
And I just like, if anybody is Spider-Man, this dude, the fact that he could pull those two, Sony and Disney and work out a negotiation, and then
so well done.
Yeah. And then and there is some emotional moments in that movie. Oh my gosh.
Tons.
So,
so Spider-Man was great. What else was out there?
I got so much. It's crazy. All right. I'll just read off and we can pick what we want to talk about.
Sure.
So, Jack's just like, I don't want to talk about it.
So Spider-Man was first. I got Cobra Kai season 4.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Cool.
Great. I mean, there's a little less to
I haven't seen Cobra Kai season 4.
It might have been it was better than season 3, I think.
Yeah, I cannot get through season 3.
Season 3 was a letdown to me. It was a lot of kind of like, didn't we already see this kind
season
of
season 3 is so
high
frustrating.
school drama?
Like, I'm just so bored with it.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, is this Book of Boba Fett? I don't know.
The season 4, and I gotta side with the people now that Daniel's son. He's a dick.
Yeah, he's really like, I'm amazed.
Daniel's son or Daniel's son?
Yes.
I'm amazed that he allows his character to be written that way, because like it's like, dude, like let it go. Like
he's a douche.
How obsessed are you with Mr. Miyagi? Like you mention him like every freaking episode. It's like, did you never become your own man? Like what the? Yeah, exactly. What the hell's going on here? It's like I go, God, I see Johnny's point.
Yeah. Danny's been the dick the whole time.
Yeah.
Daniel's been the dick the whole time. It's just like, oh my God. I just like, from the start, I was not with those people that said it was Daniel's fault. He's an asshole. And like you said,
Johnny's character is so fucking good though. He does such a great job.
And he's right most of the time.
Like literally hitting pause in 1987, 8, and then like hitting play now. It's like he's not changed one iota. Like it's really, really well done.
There was things I definitely liked about season 4, like the subtle were never addressed. I think on show. I mean, they didn't have to be like when the
wait. I didn't hear
Miguel is dry.
Yeah. I think it was.
Could you repeat what you just said again?
All right,
sure.
That's what it sounds like.
Was never addressed
when doves cry.
Sorry. So, like when Miguel is driving,
subtle enough?
Yeah,
sorry.
So when Miguel's driving with Daniel in the passenger seat, like it's never shown Johnny teaching him how to drive, or anything. But you see all of a sudden, Daniel goes, "Oh, it's a yellow light," and then what's Miguel do? He just floors it, and you're like, that's exactly what Johnny did. So he was like, "I'm just learning from watching Johnny." Is like, because that's totally a Johnny move. Like, oh, it's yellow, fuck, I'm gonna floor it.
Why don't you ever tell me about Chicago? What?
Yeah.
Chicago.
But you have the new villain. But the only thing is, like, you're trying to make me feel sorry for this guy. I think I said in season 3.
Okay, that's how I feel about. I started to watch season 3 because I saw that you guys were watching Cobra Kai season 4.
He's still a dick.
Every time they introduce his character and the flashbacks of his character, I'm just like, fuck you. I hate you. I don't want to like you.
It shows you why he is the way he is.
Let me tell you something that's going to blow your freaking minds, guys. Terry Silver is 2 years younger than Daniel in real life.
Oh,
way.
Okay. Well, what? Really?
Look it up. Ralph Macchio. Ralph Macchio was born in 1960, and Terry Silver, I forget the actor's name, was born in 62.
No way.
So he's as old as me.
Yeah, so he looks old as shit in Rocky. I mean, Karate Kid Part 3. I mean, that's just the way they made him look. But I mean, he's not.
Well, Ralph Macchio, for the first time, he started looking old.
Yeah.
To me, I mean,
my sister swears he's wearing a toupee. Like I'm like, I don't think he's wearing a toupee, but she thinks
his hair's not right though.
Yeah,
I kind of agree with it because I kept looking at his hair, going, he's got to change this hairstyle around. It doesn't look right. It looks like he's trying to. I don't know.
Well, there's the age old like fun fact is that Ralph Macchio is actually older than Pat Morita was when Pat Morita did.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
So
that's really fucked up.
But what's weird about how like the whole '80s thing where like I don't get it. Like you like okay, like for example, after Betty White died, there was a huge Golden Girls marathon on, and I watched every fucking bit of it.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, Hulu, I don't want to watch the Golden Girls, so stop shoving it down my fucking throat.
Golden Girls was awesome. Anyway,
I know,
but now
thank you for being a friend.
But there's another Sex and the City film coming out, which I won't watch. But
only if it's got Blanche in it.
Yeah, exactly. But like the women, all the women now, the Sex and the City in this movie are now older than what the Golden Girls were in season 1. So it's like
because they're like this.
Yeah.
Wait, older than the cast was, or older than the characters were?
The cast.
Okay. Well, because the cast is actually way younger than their characters were.
Yeah, but I mean, look at like I mean, but that's what cracks me up at the '80s because like why did women think like having this permed out puffy hair? It made them look so much older than what they were, and it's just one of those fashion trends I never
was
got.
Worse than the shoulder pads.
The shoulder pads, yeah.
Well, I mean, even now, like I look at myself, I'm 41 years old, but but here's the thing: 41-year-olds when I was a kid didn't look like us.
No.
Yeah, that's because of all the drugs, man. All the alcohol. They grew up.
They look like shit compared to us. Like we actually look like a significantly younger generation than the 40-year-olds did when we were kids.
It was tough, man. Look, they had to walk to school both ways, uphill, both ways, in 5 feet of snow, and they didn't complain.
Maybe climate change is helping us.
Yeah,
I think it's all the preservatives we eat. It just keeps us looking young.
Yeah, this chat is completely having a completely non sequitur conversation in comparison to what's actually happening on the show. That's fine. Chat amongst yourselves.
Yeah, just basically everybody in here. So John, the Mexican UPS guy says, I watched the first 90 minutes of Get Back, and I wish I could get those 90 minutes of my life back. Contrary to that, Randy says also watched all of Get Back. I was mesmerized and loved it. Saw it in 3 days.
Awesome, Randy. Not so much John.
To the point though, John, the Mexican UPS guy, says 90 minutes of Yoko staring.
I gotta back him up on that one. I just was like I can't take her anymore. Please.
Randy also wants to start shit with Jack by saying watched Power of the Dog, thought it was really good, and there was a plot.
What's the power of the dog?
The power of the dog compels you.
That's the one that you and I hated. That was a Western, but not a Western.
Oh, that movie sucked. I'm sorry, Randy.
Also, Randy is shitting on Nick because he's watching Breaking Bad for the first time.
Wait, time out, Randy. That show sucked as much as your jokes. But go ahead.
Breaking Bad?
No, not Breaking Bad. The Power of the Dog.
Oh.
Wait, you're watching Breaking Bad?
Well done.
Randy says also got back to watching Breaking Bad for first time. Finished season 2. So there we go.
No, is Nick watching Breaking Bad?
No, I got one more season of Better Call Saul, and then I'll watch Breaking Bad.
Kim also wants to ask us: Has anyone seen Nightmare Alley?
Oh,
it's on my list. It's on my list. Yeah, I'm a big Del Toro fan. I usually
I haven't heard of it.
Kim also says 40-1. You're a baby.
He'll be 42 soon.
She's not wrong.
Right.
She's not wrong.
John points out that his wife never showed up to his job to stare at him all day. And it's hey,
only that bitch in your photo. Hi-oh.
What?
Pull up this photo again.
Who's the?
No, not Chris.
No, that's Chris Norton.
There's a dog in this photo.
There's a dog.
Had y'all thinking I was a dickhead for a second.
What the hell,
I said, man, they can hear you.
No, he's got. For those listening at home, John, the Mexican UPS guy, has got a picture of him in his uniform with a dog next to him.
Oh, this
dog dad joke.
No,
I just like to
definitely,
think
if you
that
haven't seen
John
Cobra
is the
Kai,
dog.
watch Cobra Kai.
Yeah. Oh, Cobra Kai for sure. Okay, how about Matrix? You guys see Matrix?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, wasn't a fan.
No, really?
I gave it like a 6 out of 10.
I stopped at the second one.
It's fair. It's like, yeah. I mean, no, it's just okay. It's fine. It just didn't progress the story in any way.
No, it didn't. It restarted it really. And I mean, I think that's the idea. They could potentially make a whole spinoff from this. So I think 6.5 is a fair score. I mean, I think that's a fair. I will say it's a very fair Nick score.
Yeah.
I liked it a little bit more. I thought it was. I thought it did all the right things for the fan service part of it, with getting back into that world.
It was a unique way. They did it in a very clever way that pulled me in. It made me actually excited about the Matrix movies again. If anything, it made me go back and rewatch.
So I went back and I crash coursed through the 3 movies again before I watched it, and I would say I actually had a lot of fun watching it, and I think that a few of the highlights though were obviously, like you just mentioned, kind of the new angle in which they took the video game aspect of it, which is funny because that's literally all he's done with that in real life. Is he's been part of Cyberpunk, he's been part of there's the game Deus Ex Machina, which is very closely related to the Matrix. All that stuff is really cool. But I'll tell you that what's his name, the guy who did Agent Smith.
Oh, I thought
what's his name?
Yeah, the Spittle guy.
I thought he was fucking great.
Really?
I really did.
See,
I thought he was fantastic.
I thought him and I'm sorry, I hate to say it, Will Smith's partner, Jada Pinkett Smith. I thought that was the 2 weakest parts of the film. Because I didn't really believe him as Agent Smith, and I didn't see the whole entire point of her character, other than to say here's the one link to the old version.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. But I actually really liked his character. What's his name? It's gonna drive me crazy. He was in Frozen. He was in Mindhunter. He was in Hamilton.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Oh. Huh.
Is there a reason why you're leaving John the Mexican guy's UPS comment on there?
Oh.
I don't know, just probably because I spaced out. I started thinking about the Matrix and all the Matrix stuff. Man. Fuck you, man.
But anyways,
you don't know me at all.
I think he did a really good job. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I really did. I'm with you on Jada Pinkett Smith's character. What was her point?
Well, I mean, okay, so to me,
she gets a lot of hate because I remember when she was on that Batman TV series.
I mean,
people hated her. I don't get it.
It's the Matrix.
you got
I thought it was a gummy.
Go for
it,
I know it's a big gummy.
He goes, I can use another one.
Or that's
okay, so
kryptonite.
Usually, okay, so my usually critiques of any movie is usually plot things that don't make sense or lazily done. And so I figured out pretty early on, the whole premise of this new Matrix film. I was like, okay, that's probably how I would have done it too. I was like, it makes sense for what they're doing. But
I went into the Matrix.
I went into the Matrix, man.
Figured it out before they could even figure me out, man.
But it's things like the new characters that are introduced early in the film that are in the outside the Matrix. They introduce them and then they totally forget about them. It's
spoiler.
And I thought they were really interesting.
But after the first act, it's forget these people. And that's what I mean. It's so those are my issues with it. It's not the story. The plot of it is fairly okay. It's just that you introduce things just to say fuck them, and that's what always bothers me.
That's a fair criticism. I wonder if there's a director's cut that's going to have a little bit more of the Nebuchadnezzar 2, whatever you want to call them, crew. But yeah, you're right. I'm with you on that too.
Or maybe perhaps in the second movie if they go further
right.
Yeah. But
so let me ask you a question, Nick. Did you go back and have like a refresher of the movies before you went and saw it, or did you see it kind of like completely non sequitur from watching it?
Just watched it as is.
That's the second time I've said non sequitur in this podcast. I'm sorry.
Big word.
I learned a new word.
I'm really sequencing out, man.
No, I mean I watched the original Matrix so many times. I didn't really feel the need to. I've only watched Reloaded, I think, twice, but I've watched the first one and the third one the most. But the second one I just didn't care for.
I love the third one. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say I love the third one. I like the third one.
I never saw the third one. I stopped at the second.
You know what? To your point, there's actually one scene towards the end as well where they kind of like bring back all of Neo's like arch enemies, and it's like, why?
Yeah,
is that guy just standing there spouting off and just making sure we know he's there because he actually is doing nothing in the movie.
Yeah,
like the French guy,
right?
Who pops back and like he literally
French guy.
He literally does nothing other than just show his face, which looks nothing like him because he's all contorted and shit.
Yeah, he's all and bearded and stuff.
Yeah. But there was literally no reason for it.
Right,
no reason.
I agree. It was a waste of time, waste of electricity.
But anyways, I still enjoyed it. I had fun with it.
Yeah, I was just happy that it was on my HBO Max. By the way, kudos to HBO Max for pulling in all of these movies that are in theaters because I keep subscribing because I like the new content. And there's a new series that dropped. Haven't watched it yet. But it's a spinoff of the Suicide Squad movie.
Oh yeah, that launched today.
Yeah. So I was really curious about that. That looks.
Did you ever finish La Brea? Did you ever catch up on La Brea?
No, because I equated it to Cobra Kai season 3 and I kicked it to the fucking curb.
You got to be kidding me.
I'll come back to Cobra Kai.
Not Cobra Kai. I'm talking La Brea. You gotta hate watch it.
I gotta hate watch it with you. I see. I gotta. It's our manifest.
Yes. Yes.
It is
a movie that I watched, I think, yesterday on Netflix. And I held off on it because the people that I knew had seen it said it was kind of depressing. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch it. Was it
My Wedding?
Don't Look Up?
Don't Look Up. Yeah.
Dude, so good.
Yeah.
Okay, don't tell me the end yet. I got halfway through. I was really, I had to go to bed that night. And I was wired. And that movie did not help me at all.
Right.
It's like in my fucking head.
And that's why people are mixed on it because like you're so frustrated because you know exactly what would fucking happen.
Oh my god!
And it's like that's how government works. And you're just like, yep, that's exactly. It doesn't matter what political party, they're all just fucked up. And it just
politics and media.
Yeah.
It's all a game.
It was so
all an agenda.
It was so good.
That's with
Leonardo Dicaprio and
Yeah,
and one of my coworkers saw it. They're like, they watched. They couldn't figure out they're like, why this movie fucking happened? Like, they didn't put two and two together and realize that the entire movie is just a satire for fucking global warming.
Yeah,
and they just didn't make that connection. They're like, why the fuck did they make this movie? And I was like, I get it. Like, if you didn't make that connection, it's actually a shitty movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it could be any crisis, though. I mean, I knew it was about global warming, but to me, you could have said COVID. It could have been the same thing. You're like, it's like,
but yeah, I thought they did a really great job with it because you do kind of hit that roller coaster of like, okay, this is like a really serious movie, and like this is like a real deal drama, and then you get into it like, oh, they are fucking around, and like they realize they're fucking around the entire movie. But did Leonardo DiCaprio get fat, or is it?
I have not finished it yet.
Makeup. Did Leonardo DiCaprio get fat, or is that makeup?
He's been fat for a while.
He's getting. I hate to criticize him.
I'm feeling better about myself. I feel like he's part of the team.
You got to think about it. He's probably in his early 50s. He's getting that man head. You know, just the fat man head.
He's ready for Godfather 4.
But Randy made a very good point. When you do not stop once the movie's over, there are some credit scenes.
Okay. What's the credit scene? Is it the planet?
Yeah, the other
the landing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I didn't want to get spoiled.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna watch the whole thing now. I'm not gonna watch it. I won't.
The whole movie's on a planet.
I can never know it. No. The way that it's directed, the pacing of it, the people. There's some really funny moments. I was really enjoying it, except for the fact that I had to teach the next day, and it was like 12:30, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta go to sleep, and then I couldn't. Also, I drink a lot of espresso.
Oh,
so
espresso.
That probably had something to do with it.
Now, did you guys?
So I had a beer, and then I put on my show, my comfort show, which I started watching the IT Crowd. You know, this show's been around for a while.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
It is so good. I really, really enjoyed this show.
Incredibly underrated.
So underrated. And all I want is more of those characters.
Yeah.
The IT Crowd?
The IT Crowd. I don't think it's fair, but I could see where I saw one review say that it was kind of like the British version of the one with the geeks, that Big Bang. And I can see elements there, but it's not.
I don't see that.
It's totally different in other ways.
It's more Office style.
There was no laugh track.
It is. And I love when Matt Berry's character comes up. And so it was very crazy because I'm watching that show. Matt Berry is a character that appears, I think, in season 3. He's like the son of a CEO. I'm not spoiling anything on here, but he's the son of a CEO, and he shows up to run a company. Okay.
Yeah.
His voice is also the voice of 88 on Book of Boba Fett. Oh. So every time I hear that droid's voice, I'm like, holy shit, what's he gonna say? Is he gonna say something really funny and wrong? But he doesn't, because he's a droid. But
Jack, if you should watch it. Like, if you've not seen
the IT Crowd.
IT Crowd. Or
it's solid.
What's it on?
What did I watch it on? It was Netflix, maybe.
Netflix.
It's actually very, very good. It's a British comedy with
I
would say like early 2000s or mid 2000s maybe.
And I do not have my phone on me to IMDb this shit.
But
Chris
O'Dowd, who's an Irish actor, Irish comedian or comedy actor.
You've seen him in stuff.
He's been in stuff. It's really funny.
And the guy that plays Maurice Moss is so good. I just want more of him. He is one of my favorite characters, and the things that he does, I'm just like,
He played an alien in
what was that movie? I know which movie you're talking about.
Can I pause here for a second?
Okay, sure. Do you want to put a commercial break? 42 minutes, so that makes sense.
I didn't realize it was that late. I saw it in the private chat. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Will Fry said it's on Netflix, and he's watched it twice since 2000.
Well, if Will thinks it's that good, I won't watch it. I'm kidding. I will add it to my. I'm looking for some shows. So I'm rewatching MASH, and I'm signing.
No, not
again.
Again, all 11 seasons.
This is like 74th.
Probably more.
I'm telling you,
I don't watch it all the way.
I'm telling you, Jack, as a connoisseur of TV comedy, you really should watch this show, because it's got some very witty and very smart things. It's also got some very wrong things, but they do it in a the right way.
Because my wife, I wanted to watch Mayor of Kingstown. I said, "You want to watch that?" She goes,
"That's good. That's good."
That doesn't look interesting to me. I don't want to watch it. I go, I bugged her like 2 or 3 times to watch it.
Yeah.
So the night I'm sitting there, I go, "Wait, what are you watching?" She goes, "Mayor of Kingstown." I go, "Remember me saying I want?" She goes, "This was the show you were talking about?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, I'm already. You can catch up." I go, "No, just continue going. That's fine. Because that's what she does." She goes, "Now." Then she'll watch the show. And go, "Oh, this was pretty good. I enjoyed it." I go, "Okay, all right." We never watch anything together anymore. Because I've given up on This Is Us and all these other shows.
Oh God!
And she still. I couldn't take This Is Us anymore. I go, "Look, no family. Somebody has to be happy. All right, somebody has to be happy because she watches that million little things. I get it, but it's like, okay, I've had some shitty times in life, but my God, I mean, there's been a few happy times. I have grandkids now, so that makes me happy.
You know what? Go ahead. Speaking of kids, and I recently got my daughter to progress in her watching of Star Wars. So we now have gotten through Rogue One, A New Hope, and Empire.
Nice.
Nice.
And her favorite of the 3 so far is A New Hope.
Of course, because that's the best one.
Oh,
it's the best written as in plot wise of the original trilogy.
I'm sure
It's
she's
the
watching
best
for the plot
one.
too.
She doesn't give a fuck. Like honestly, she's just going based upon her 9-year-old preferences and what she thinks is awesome.
Right.
And she liked it, but she was like, "Wait, is Empire Strikes Back a lot longer?" So she's actually kind of getting the idea of like, well, it's not, but the storyline is it's you know what I mean. So it's like it's definitely like a longer payoff and not as much of a direct route. So she's kind of getting that, which I think is kind of cool. But she's enjoyed it.
That's why, that's what I'm saying. Like, A New Hope, plot wise, is better. Like, because it's 6 little segments that are all strung together like a series.
Yeah.
Whereas in Empire, you have a badass opening and a badass ending that are bookend, and in the middle is kind of a lull. And so it's okay. We just supporting the San Diego Padres. What we're doing here. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, Empire is still my favorite, but I get why people like one or the other.
Yeah.
Fine, Jake, if you keep misbehaving, we're going to start talking about Book of Boba Fett, and we're just never going to shut up.
But John,
because you know what?
John, the Mexican UPS man said, UPS guy said, John Madden died.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest, when I was a kid, I hated John Madden.
Yeah.
Hated John Madden because he was the Raider coach. And I was at one point a San Diego Charger fan. But I grew to love him with his when he became an announcer.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the king of the telestrator.
He's like Tony Romo is now.
Did y'all watch the documentary on him?
Not yet. No.
It's good.
Well, he's
I got to watch half of it, but it is good.
He's a really great video gamer too.
Yeah, he is.
And that's a real loss because we're not going to.
The story about him in Madden actually becoming a video game franchise. It's actually kind of cool. It almost didn't happen because he doesn't fly.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So he had to take a
even
train.
though his wife got a pilot license.
Yeah, so he took a train.
That shows you how much you trust.
Meeting to sign on for John Madden football, and I think some crazy story about like how maybe the train didn't make it or something like that. But
he took the bus.
Yeah, John Madden.
Yeah,
well, they addressed that in the documentary. How once he had a full-on panic attack on a flight, and after that he swore he'd never fly again, and so he bought a completely tricked out bus.
Yeah,
and that's what he wrote on for the rest of his career. And another commentator was talking about that, said how like he had the luckiest job in the world. He only worked 1 day a week, and the rest of the time he was just in his bus, like traveling the country. I was like,
I think he stopped flying once he stopped coaching. Right? Was that what it was?
Pretty much. Yeah, because that's
But he still has the best winning percentage of any coach in the NFL.
Yeah.
Anyone who's coached 100 games, he has the best winning percentage.
Yeah. And they didn't really debate or talk about the immaculate catch much, because it's such a controversial. Like, did it happen? Did it?
Immaculate reception.
Receptions, or catch, yeah.
Well, we could talk about the holy roller, which was bullshit. But anyway, you guys probably don't even know what the holy roller is.
Or the tuck roll.
Yeah.
No.
The holy roller has to do with the conversion therapy that was administered to an entire football team.
No.
And what happened to them when they threw holy water on them.
No. It was the Chargers versus the Raiders.
Massive dude.
Crackpot Sports I just did a thing on it. Anyway, Chargers are winning by 6. No time left. Ken Stabler, the snake, goes back. Woodrow Lowe grabs him. Stabler literally throws the ball forward, like at the 25-yard line. Banaszak comes in. Either way, the ball bouncing, throwing. They scored a touchdown, win the game. So now they've changed. That's why they changed the rule that the guy who fumbles the ball late in the game has to be the guy that recovers it. You can't advance a fumble. That's because of the holy roller, because the Chargers got screwed. And, of course, the Chargers, San Diego Chargers, didn't make the playoffs that year because of one game, and that was the game.
Wait a minute. The Chargers were from San Diego?
Yeah, they were, believe it or not.
God, I can't believe that.
Luckily, they have a bad coach that called the timeout when the other team was when the Raiders were willing to play for a tie. I enjoyed that game a lot.
That's something that blows my mind about, like, no one that's born probably past like 93 has never had the experience of watching a football game that ended in a tie. You know?
Well, that happened this year though. Pittsburgh and Detroit tied.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, and that's how Pittsburgh got in the playoffs.
Is it just too many overtimes, or they just said fuck it?
No, it's overtime is sudden death,
right?
In regular season, so it's like they went 10 minutes and nobody.
There's been ties. There's been ties through the past decade too.
Because we were doing sports talk with three stupid guys, and who was it? It was the Eagles quarterback, McNabb.
McNabb.
He didn't know that. He goes. He didn't know there was.
He didn't even know that there was a rule that he was like, well, I just didn't think you could tie in football.
No, I mean,
and it's
like,
okay, yeah, you can. And so I think it was the Eagles versus Cincinnati game.
I remember.
I don't know why I would remember that. And maybe I'm wrong on that
because that was the one you were sober for.
I almost sent you guys.
That was the one. What
you were sober for?
I think that was the first one that I joined you on.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think that's the first game that I joined Sports Talk with. Like, I don't know. I
almost sent you guys a meme the other day because you said Cincinnati, so it reminded me of it because it was like no one in modern history has ever texted the phrase Cincinnati Bengals just made the playoffs, because the last time they made the playoffs was before text messaging was invented.
I was like, technically not true, because they lost the Chargers in 2014.
But they didn't advance, is what I mean.
No, they didn't advance.
Yeah.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's when they were still the San Diego Chargers.
Moving on from sports, because I think half of our listeners just died.
Don't start talking Star Wars, or we'll lose everything.
Oh, can we?
So, yeah, we absolutely fucking can. For at least a hot minute.
Matt is right. It was the Eagles and Bengals in 2008.
Wait, you want to talk about the Book of Boba Fett?
I want to talk about it for at least 30 seconds.
Okay. Third episode was good.
Sucks, dude. Like, it's a terrible show.
Third episode was good.
It's still not good enough. Like, that show is not good.
Yeah.
The show is not fucking good. And I feel terrible saying this.
It must be bad, because it's been 52 minutes into this show before you guys talked about it.
Dude, it's not great. I don't give a fuck about the goddamn Tusken Raiders.
We're not podcasting about it right now.
Yeah.
Because I don't really, the first two episodes I really would not want to watch again. Now
I legitimately fell asleep twice.
Yeah.
How long are the episodes?
They're 30 minutes.
They vary.
Like, the second episode was almost an hour.
The second one was an hour.
It was like 50 something minutes.
The first and the third one, I think, were close.
People were really looking forward to this show. And
yeah,
I saw that it's people were saying it sucked.
The thing is like the first episode, they shit the bed like straight off, and because they were trying to do fan service, and
they fucking did Community.
Yeah,
Parks and Rec fan service.
Yeah,
like they literally scene for scene did fucking what's his name's prediction from Parks and Rec. Was it Parks and Rec?
The hand coming up out of
Patton Oswalt. Like Patton Oswalt was kind of like doing this thing on the show.
But I mean, the first part of it though. I mean, how else do you get out of the Sarlacc? I mean, how else? I mean,
well, to me, it's just like all that build of how did he do it, and they gave us 30 seconds, and then
that wasn't enough.
And then the thing is,
go ahead.
And then because I know that you will probably do an Owen and Bruce about it, but like the continuity, there's like a huge continuity error, and then when rocket on top of the jetpack, and he didn't. Sorry, I know I froze. So when he calls out, he has the rocket on top of the jetpack. But in Return of the Jedi, it's not on there. So it's like, who? I mean, I thought you guys were Star Wars experts. But anyway, that's just me.
Well, Filoni's name's not attached to that.
Is it not?
So, I mean, I know he didn't have anything to do with the story or the. I mean, he has to be busy with his own show at this point.
And a lot of the stuff in it looks fake too, like very low budget fake.
The Gamorrean guards, like, why do they look so like this is not guards? This is not my dad's Gamorrean guards.
Yeah, it looks like former weightlifters who let their bodies go with a mask.
Why are they like neon Hulk green too?
Yeah,
like it's a weird.
I'm working on it.
And
And what's up with the freaking biker gangs that look weird?
Okay, so you don't have money for water, but you can afford a Vespa like moped. Like it's like what? And I like the mod chick because I've always wanted to have a bionic arm. Personally, it's definitely an in for me. But other than that, like the execution of that, like I think on paper, I get what they were going for.
Yeah.
But the execution, and that's I think what I'm. Like I think that's what we're responding to is the execution of these things. These ideas on paper sound good, but
and what a waste of a fucking Wookiee.
What?
So what a fucking waste of a Wookiee.
Well, obviously, like you're gonna see that come back. I mean, you don't save a Wookiee's life and not see it come again.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
He's honor
for a handy or something.
Yeah,
and I think there was actually one moment in the writing room where like, okay, guys, everybody throw an idea into a hat, and we're gonna come up with the best way to fucking wedge in Danny Trejo into our series.
Oh, so that's real?
I love Danny.
Oh, that's
Trejo
real
as that character.
And Stephen Root. have you seen my stapler? Like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, why the fuck is he on that show? Like, it's like, come on, get the fuck out of here. The show's stupid.
I liked Danny Trejo being on there. I felt that it was like swinging to the audience of Boba Fett fans. Yeah.
No.
I just like for once that Chris is shitting on something worse than I shit on something. But like,
it fucking sucks.
The other Chris in the chat here says, I still have hope.
I do too. I'm hoping for because like there's a lot of character development that really you're like because if I saw one more fucking scene with the Tusken Raiders, I'm gonna be like, really? I don't care. And now that's done with, so yay.
Except for there's one Tusken Raider we didn't see the body, and that's just true. Like all TV, no body.
Randy has it. Randy has the way to save the show.
Yeah, they need Richard Grieco. That's so true. So true.
Greek, dude. We need him
because I mean his face is perfect now for a desert aged face. So.
John, the Mexican UPS guy. I'm not sure if you can actually say that. But he says it's okay so far. So I'm
and he hates everything.
I'm shocked actually. I thought
he's like Mikey from those old life commercials.
Anyway,
and then the logical part of my brain also, I wanted to know like how did the Hutts ever get control? I mean, they're just big fat slugs. It's not like they were going to fight anybody.
I have so many things, and if
they have money and power. And that's
I have so many questions and things that we could talk about. Like
I don't know. I'm just making it up.
I mean, I have questions about like spice. Like, are we gonna find sandworms now? Because there's clearly like some spice mining happening here.
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah.
So
I'm glad I didn't watch it then.
There's one thing that they teased in the third episode, which you don't reference writing this certain creature without seeing that happen at some point. Yeah. And so to me, I like the idea of that. I'm game for it.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to write it, but that would be interesting. Because from what I can tell, it is a female. No. Okay,
wow. So you said it, man.
It is a female Rancor. Funny, it's a female Rancor. It doesn't have any color on it. It's a female. But anyway. Anyone who plays the Force Unleashed would know the difference. So,
John, you're not wrong. So, they did a comic book of Jabba the Hutt, as though it's the art of the steel, I think, or something like that. So,
I get where you're going with that.
Yeah,
South Park did it best with Starvin Marvin and. Sally Struthers was Jabba the Hutt.
By the way,
that's just wrong. I mean, I laugh at it all the time.
I guess it's wrong. I guess the thing I'm more frustrated that it's not good. Like I'm actually mad that it's fucking not good because there has been nothing but like amazing shit from on Disney Plus for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's been nothing short of great. Right. So. And then on top of it, like introducing a story, like a show about a fucking beloved character that got no love in the movies but had such a cult following from the 80s and throughout, and like with Boba Fett, the fact they made a fucking show called The Mandalorian, which is based off of Boba Fett, really, this is a fucking big thing. It's like a fucking joke.
Yeah,
like
it's like we got pure, straight from the cow milk.
It's like,
and now we're getting watered down skim milk.
Yeah, we
wanted blue milk, but we got green milk.
If you're watching a show, it reminds me, there's some executive at Disney Plus who's been very successful with this shit. He has a fucking cokehead like kid that wants to become like a film producer or film creator, and says, "Dad, I'm gonna fucking do this." And then he's like, "Okay, here, make a show. This is what we fucking get." It's like the subpar
fucking cokehead kid fucked up the whole show.
Seriously,
are you saying Jon Favreau fucked this up, or is this?
I don't know. It's fucking stupid.
Robert Rodriguez directed the first episode.
Does Jon Favreau have kids?
I just assumed that he was a kid, and that's how he can make all of this cool shit.
He's it's the Jonah Hill character from Don't Look Up wrote this show.
That's the fucking guy I'm talking about.
Yes,
you're absolutely right. It's exactly who the fuck I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I think it's funny.
Yes.
You summed it up perfectly. And now moving on to other stuff. And if we do talk about the Book of Boba Fett, we'll come back to
it. We'll do it on Owen
Brews. So one of these days.
Go ahead, you have another show?
Well, one more show. Yeah, since we were talking about Disney Plus, Hawkeye, excellent series. If anyone finished it,
yes,
great series. Was
from start to finish. I'm watching got better.
Yeah, I did.
Not bored.
Consistently got better. I was like, yeah, this is a good show. I was happy, and then especially when I don't want to talk about. I don't want to spoil anybody. But you know, the character that's introduced, the whole funny scenes between Kate and that character, just God, like you almost want to show between those two. You're like, it's so funny, just the dialogues between them.
I also liked the bonus scene on Hawkeye, which was so good. My wife was just like, that is the best thing I've ever seen from Marvel.
There's only one thing I want to hear him say. It was all day. Chris just looks confused. Like
I just love the fact that we got the full thing.
What bonus scene are you talking about?
The play. The Captain America play.
Fucking Broadway. Yeah.
Okay. The whole Broadway play. We get that at the end. So that was really so.
One thing I'll say though is that Marvel's done a really nice job of introducing the next chapter or the next evolution of these stories, right?
So these superhero movies are not going to stop.
No, man,
anytime soon.
No,
is it like rap? Is it like rap music? Just keep going on and on and on. Because I remember when rap music first came out, I give this a year before people say, okay, this music sucks.
I mean, to me, it has sucked for a long time. I mean, 90s rap was good. I haven't liked it in a long time, but.
Anyway, I was wrong about rap music, so I guess I was wrong about superhero.
Yeah. But anyways, that's what people said when Hippy Dippy Elvis came out. Like, I don't want to hear this.
They've done a really nice job of like closing one chapter and opening up the next. I gotta say, and it's like everything's getting set up to be. All the stories I've seen get set up are and can be very, very interesting. It could probably hold up
because The Boys is coming back in June. I got to finish the last episode.
Well, that's what's neat about like Hawkeye in that like you get introduced to the new villain. I froze up again. I think I'm froze up again. We get introduced to the new villain at the end there, and there's also a link in Spider-Man. So you're like, okay, so all these worlds are colliding with another hero, another villain. It's like, okay, that would be interesting. Like how. Because like you almost, I don't, because I'm trying not to be spoilery. I assume that Matt and Chris know what I'm talking about.
Go ahead, I don't care.
Squat.
So like you get introduced to Kingpin at the end of Hawkeye.
Oh yeah.
But in Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man film, you also are introduced to not Daredevil, as the lawyer, which it doesn't make sense for a kid from Queens to get a lawyer from Hell's Kitchen, but whatever. It's like. But so that it's all gonna come together at some point. But you wonder if like Spider-Man and Daredevil will do something against the King because they're mixing the worlds a lot.
Time out. Quick tangent. Just made me think of it. I watched the Mighty Ducks the other day with my daughter, and she's obsessed. Wants to play hockey now.
The TV show?
The movie.
Which one?
First two.
Okay.
And now my daughter wants to play hockey, which is kind of cool. So, but the big brute guy who had the crazy slap shot in Mighty Ducks and Mighty Ducks 2 is Foggy from fucking Daredevil.
Yeah.
I never.
Yeah.
thought of it. I'm like, holy fuck,
yeah.
Okay.
Anywho,
I never.
Fulton Reese is.
I just learned this now.
I knew it back way when I first saw Daredevil. I go, oh, that's Mighty Ducks dude.
What? Why is Randy talking about Rapper's Delight?
We're talking about rap. We're talking about.
I talked about rap music.
Oh, by the way,
yeah,
the best version of that is on a show called The Muppets.
If you want to get, but going back to Chris,
and it is the Swedish Chef doing Rapper's Delight. I kid you not. Look it up. It is beautiful.
You should get your daughter in hockey because she can get a scholarship to college.
Just speaking
it's a lot easier for girls to get that than.
Speaking of Swedish Chef, I can even be a dick at work, and people don't often get my humor. But I was watching a demonstration on a big web call, and this guy was introducing two pieces of software called Nerf and Ferk. And for the next 5 minutes, I just kept going, Nerf and Ferk, Nerf and Ferk. It's just like, fuck you. I was like, it's what it means. I'm like,
oh, wait, you did that?
Yeah, I did it. I'm like, oh. Because that's how I heard it. He didn't say it like that, but when I heard Nerf and Ferk, I immediately thought Swedish Chef, just going like, Nerf and Ferk.
48 hours later, Nick's company puts out a fucking press release. Yeah, we've changed the acronym of our fucking software.
Our apologies to the Swedish families out there. I love how he always throws the spatulas behind him.
But
it's the best.
So anyways, I tangented, yes, that's a word, off of Nick. You're making a point about how they're kind of like bringing and weaving in those different universes between Spider-Man and Hawkeye.
I was going to say about your daughter in the Mighty Ducks. She does know that the flying V would never work, right?
True. It's actually not even legal anymore.
Yeah. Well, it should never. I mean, it would never work. You just hit the first guy.
It's like the Lasso special, but you know what?
Plus, when the Mighty Ducks first start out and Bombay comes over there, they're all wearing like different gear. That's not USA hockey approved. They would never be allowed on the ice. But that's okay. No way. And when he takes his when he takes his final shot, you know, he guys do the triple deke. What's his name? Conway. Number 9?
Yeah.
He takes off his helmet. You can't take off your helmet on the ice. Anyway,
I actually said that too when he was taking the penalty shot. I was like, you can't take your helmet off.
You can't take your helmet.
But I used
to be a ref, so
I was trying to bring it back to Nick.
Nobody cares about Nick.
Some people do.
Jack, that wasn't even my story. That was Nick because he pissed on Nick.
I didn't piss on Nick. I was pissing on the Mighty Ducks.
We pissed on me, which indirectly pisses up.
I wasn't pissing on your daughter, and then all of a sudden, Jack's got to tear this thing apart.
I was pissing on the Mighty Ducks, and then when Bombay's skating at that far scene where he's like 6'9". Anyway, that's okay.
If your daughter wants to play hockey, just let her know that it's not going to be like Mighty Ducks.
Just let her know that she can play till she's like 13, then quit. And then when she's like 35, she can get a chance to play in the minors because she was such a good Pee Wee player.
That's pretty much the plot of
Oh, you were guarded by.
Was it Mike Madonna? He's like, yeah, this guy fucking killed it in Pee Wee's. Let's get him a tryout.
Yeah, let's forget he's 5'4".
He's fucking friends with Pacey from Dawson's Creek. Let's get him a tryout. He can get out there on the ice. Let's go. Fucking, his name's Gordon. He's like Gordie Howe.
He's got a great name, Gordon Bombay. Anyway, from Minnesota. I'm sorry. I had my tangent. Go ahead, Nick.
It wasn't my story. It was Chris's story that was trying to relate back to my story.
I've never seen Jack get so upset about a fucking kids movie on Disney.
I tried watching the TV show Mighty Ducks.
Never did.
Yeah.
It wasn't that good. Yeah.
Oh my god! It's like, okay, so this is basically the Mighty Ducks with the bad team now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really I didn't like it. Actually, I think they kicked Emilio off the show.
Oh, did they?
Oh, really?
Because he didn't want, because like now, in order to anything actively filming, at least it was this fall, you had to be vaccinated, and he refused to be vaccinated. So they went ahead with production without
Well, to be
him.
fair, he's Gordon Bombay, Pee Wee hockey star. He doesn't need
Dude, to be fair, he's blown a lot more unusual substances up his nose.
And
But,
also,
to
be fair, when we were like 8 years old, this movie came out. Well, I was 8. You guys
I
like
was-
fucking 30.
I took
20.
my kids. I took my kids to the movie. Okay,
But the thing is, though, I was watching it again. I'm like, was it apparently okay in the 80s to write a plot about a guy who gets a Dewey? And he has to go do community service, coaching a hockey team because he got pulled over
and who's
wasted.
and who's his limo driver? Tom from Lost.
Mr. Friendly, Tom Friendly.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, he was drunk. He was like wasted and got pulled over. I'm like, how is this fucking material for a PG Disney movie?
Exactly. I mean, if you think about Bad News Bears, I mean, he's drinking on the field.
Right.
Yeah,
But that was legit.
that was legit. Yeah,
that was legit.
Bad
That
News
was
Bears was so spot
plausible.
on. I mean,
Yeah.
it was because usually the coaches were drunk. They weren't drinking in the dugout, but they were drunk before they got there. And the parents are obnoxious, and you always had that. Anyway, it's pretty spot on movie.
So okay, so just for everyone out there listening, Jack will shit on any Pee Wee hockey movie, but he will defend the Bad News Bears to the T.
Because Bad News Bears was realistic.
Okay.
Bad News Bears is a
Come
great
on,
movie.
as
a great movie, yeah.
As someone who's coached before, if you have a kid that say, okay, like was Goldstein was a kid that, all right, just take
Goldberg.
No, who was the kid that took was it Engelbert? No, who was the kid that kept getting hit by the pitch? I don't want to do it. That hurts.
Oh, right.
You do say, okay, lean into the pitch.
Right.
Take the hit. Like if you're coaching a hockey, okay, make it look like you got slammed into the boards.
I actually liked getting hit when I was a kid because the pitchers never threw it that hard anyway. Because you're a little kid, you can't throw it that fast.
My mom hits harder than that.
But it got me on base without having to do anything. I was like, yeah, I'll take a free base.
Oh,
sure.
so you were that kid.
I was that kid, yeah.
I used to do the catcher's interference. I would, catcher's interference is you hit the catcher's glove.
The
you
thing
get first base. I used to lean back and go. I used to step back and hit the glove on purpose and run back to first.
In my defense, I watched The Sandlot a lot as a child, and I did not hinder James Earl Jones's advice because he hugged the plate, which is why he became blind. But I thought that was sound wisdom. Like I hugged the plate because it made the strike zone disappear. I was like, that's really a good idea. Mm-hmm. And then so that's what I mean. That's what I did too.
Well, I've told this story before about Jay because Jay was afraid to get hit by the ball, and I threw the ball, hit him. I go, "Did you die?" He goes, "No." I go, "Well, I throw harder than those kids. So stand in the box and don't freak out." It's tough love. You have to, of course, now I'd be probably sent to jail, but I didn't hit him in the head.
There actually is a picture, and I probably will never find it, but there is a picture of me with the laces like completely like bruised around my face from where the ball hit, just pinged me right in the face. But it's a cool picture to look at now. I didn't like it then, but
no, it hurt
because it hurt like a mother.
But it's funny you were talking. Chris said we were 8 years old when the movie came out. Mighty Ducks. I took Jay and my youngest daughter. My youngest daughter had to use the bathroom during the Triple D final scene. So I never knew what happened. I had to run her to the bathroom real quick, then come back.
Yeah, I had to take my son to the bathroom in a certain special part in the Spider-Man movie. And I was like, really, right now? So I relate.
Yeah. So
it's the same. It's the same.
1992. It was 92 when it came out. I was 12.
Well,
I thought it was early 90s. When you're saying 8, I'm like, well,
1992, I was, so my daughter would have been 3. Jay would have been 7. 8.
Jack was 30.
19. Was I 30?
1992?
Yeah, I was 30. Thanks for
math is hard.
30. Living the dream.
You kind of forget when you get older, you forget.
Oh, for sure. No, I was like, wait, I'm in that part of the 40s where I'm like, okay, am I this age or am I this age?
So to put things in perspective, Jack and Emilio Estevez are the exact same age.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And I even have my booster.
Only at the end of the movie? I couldn't wait to finish the entire movie.
Can you imagine taking your kid to spooky nights?
I can't imagine that.
Well, it's a Burt Reynolds movie, so you know.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it. It's a family movie. We're gonna take the whole family.
I forgot to mention our family went ice skating.
So he didn't actually. So if you take him at the end, he didn't actually get to see the mirror scene where he actually pulls it out and says, "Like I'm a big, bright, shining star."
Yeah. Not that part.
Marky Mark.
Yeah. Marky Mark. Yeah.
Yeah, our whole family went skating on Christmas. Was it Christmas Day or Christmas Eve? Whatever it was. Outdoor rink here in Raleigh. Went like the ice sucked. But what are you gonna do? But it was fun to get the whole family out there skating again.
So the whole family out there.
The whole family went, yes. Everyone.
Did you get a picture like, I'm the or no?
No, I didn't do that.
No, okay.
Because my skates were so old and hadn't been sharpened in forever, but the ice was terrible. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. It's not like you have a personal Zamboni machine.
Exactly.
Like, let me fix this ice for you here, people. Yeah. I'm a professional.
Well, I was looking and go, God, if they just did this and this, this would be so much better. But I don't want to be that guy. I'm just a customer.
Garçon, need to speak to you.
Yeah. I did do that when I was reffing one time. I was at this rink. The ice was, it was Hillsborough rink. The ice was the worst ice I've ever been on. It was like this. It was uneven. I was telling the people, this is what you need. Well, this is what you need to do to fix your ice. They had no clue what I was talking about.
Yeah, and
can you show us? I go, no, because I don't work here. But if you do this,
and your bladder was empty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, on December 26th, my youngest nephew, plays hockey. He's only 10, but like he loves hockey. He wanted me to take him to a Knoxville Ice Bears game. So I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. And they had a Zamboni. Yeah, it's minor. Yeah. I don't even know if it's but they had a Zamboni, but it was probably the worst ice. I could see, even after they smoothed it out, I could still see the cuts in the ice. I'm like, did they even smooth out the ice? Like, what the hell?
Well, to be fair, sometimes you can't. The blade is only, your ice is only like 2 inches. It should be only like 2 inches thick, 2.5
right
at the most. People go, well, some of those grooves are like all the way to the bottom.
Right.
You're not gonna be able. The ice is only cutting like a little bit. It's not like you're cutting, because people
I like
go,
6 inch.
You didn't get rid of those ruts. I go, yeah. If I got rid of the ruts, we'd be down to the pipes.
6 inch ice is where it's at. That's how I cut it.
Yeah, I bet you do. Anyway, you're right though. It's just you can't. In 15 minutes, you can't fix the ice.
Right, and I just because I guess because watching the Avalanche here, like when people are hitting, like just completely smacking the puck, like it still kind of glides across the ice. I'd never seen a puck bounce and roll so much in my life. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
The difference between minor league hockey and NHL hockey, they have different. I mean, they have oxygen in the water. I mean, it's just a different beast.
Oxygen in the wire?
Water.
Water.
It's different because I've skated at the rink here.
I love my oxygen wire.
And I said, oh my God, this ice is the best ice I've ever skated on. You just glide.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hey, quick question. If a stormtrooper has oxygen,
yes.
Yes. Wouldn't he have used the oxygen and then had died from the oxygen or would he exhale all the oxygen in his lungs back into the oxygen tank and therefore there was oxygen left? Sorry, I'm just, thinking about that Stormtrooper Sarlacc scene.
If you guys
it was so absurd. That's what I mean. Like that was where don't get me going, Matt. But like, yeah,
I'm okay with there being air down there. It's not like the whole thing's a belly that's solid, but maybe I guess it could be. Well, I don't know why they didn't just use the flame thing, cut open an area.
Is that the technical name for it? The flame thing?
Well, I mean,
I see the writers right. All right, we got the flame
his
thing.
jetpack in a way to
Oxygen.
cause an explosion and
why is there a stormtrooper down there anyway? It's like, wait a minute.
He was looking for droids, dude.
I'm just
sorry. I know this was a Star Wars tangent.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
No, they weren't.
Anyway, going back to TV, have you guys seen Yellowstone?
I watched 1883, the first 2 episodes that were free.
1883 is excellent. I'm
not going to pay for Paramount Plus, but I did enjoy the first 2 episodes.
Paramount Plus is pretty good though. If you like, we have Paramount Plus, but the 1883 we finally found. Remember, I don't know if I
1883. You're talking 1883.
1883. So you're done. Anyway, so Yellowstone. Remember, before the break, I was having trouble finding it. Well, we finally paid for it. It's probably the worst season of anyone in the chat watch it. It's probably the worst season of all 4 seasons because they're just setting up 1883. They're setting up another spinoff show. The finale was great. But everything else in between, I was like, this is just...
It was just kind of watered down.
It was just like, okay, what are we doing here? Exactly. Why's a stormtrooper there on the ranch in Montana? I don't understand that.
I like my boba with a lot less tea and a lot more.
I know if I ever act, which I never will, but if I was in a show or TV show with Kevin Costner, I would just constantly walk around going, hey, I'm going to talk like this from now on just around you because this is how I sound. Because I don't understand why he talks like that, and
because he's in Montana.
What is he just smoking like 10 packs a day?
That's how they talk.
Well, dude, it's better than his shit accent from when he was in 13 Days when he was trying to sound like a fucking.
Oh
entity.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's that fucking bad. It's that bad. This is the kind of stuff your father would do.
Teddy, don't be driving at night. Teddy, don't drive on the bridge.
Yeah, that actually is a very good movie, except for Kevin Costner.
Hey, the movie's fantastic.
Yeah,
I like the Kevin Costner movie. What's the Kevin Costner movie where he turns out to be the bad guy?
Mr.
Dances with Wolves. Is that what you're talking about?
No. It's like he plays like a
Mr. Brooks.
No, he plays. Come on, someone in the chat. He plays like a bad. You don't know he's the bad guy. He's the Russian.
Field of Dreams.
He's the Russian agent. No,
Field of Dreams.
No, Bull Durham. No,
the Field of Dreams is totally the bad guy. He fucked over his family for a baseball field.
But 1883. If you love westerns,
Wyatt Earp. He was an undercover agent.
Oh, John the Ucas guy thought this season was
the Postman.
Waterworld.
No, it wasn't Waterworld. I liked
Waterworld, but
I like Water.
I wish there was more Waterworld. I mean, that was kind of like
Untouchables.
I like
no, it wasn't Untouchables. No Way Out. Thanks, Sherry. No Way Out. If you haven't seen No Way Out, I just ruined the plot for you.
No Way Out.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah, I can see
because you're shocked at the end. He goes,
contemporary movies.
He's the bad guy.
No Way Out.
I never saw that coming. But no, Yellowstone. John thought it was great. I didn't hate it, but it was just like it was the weakest of the 4. But 1883, it's got Faith Hill, Tim McGraw, Tug McGraw, and it's got what's his name, Shepard.
Sam Shepard.
Sam Elliott.
Yeah. Take that hill.
My mom kind of didn't want to watch it because like all women of that period had a huge crush on Sam Elliott when he was apparently attractive in the 80s, and now he really looks like an old man. And he's like, I don't want to look at my man like that.
But I got to be honest, he's still a good-looking guy, even though he's like 75.
Yeah, he's
married to Catherine Ross. From
Smoke Show. What she was.
Yeah, she can still get it.
She can still get it, says Matt.
Even at 75.
We're not going to gloss over the fact that you just said She can still.
I don't. It was just kind of a saying, you know. Like, she can still get it. Like
Jack. Next time I say let's go to a place like Australia, let's go to a place like Australia.
All right. I can't swim.
Sometimes I feel like
I agree with John, the Mexican UPS guy, that he did look bizarre and justified because he didn't have his mustache. That's what he looks like. And my wife goes, he looks like a turtle. I go, you know what? You're right. Without his mustache, he looks like a turtle.
Nick Offerman, when you see him without his mustache, you're like, what?
It's fucking jarring.
Yeah. It is. Like
I can't. And Deadwood, I think he just has a beard. I don't know if he.
It's either beard or mustache, but like when there's an episode of Parks and Rec where all of a sudden he shaves his mustache and he comes in and you're just like, who the fuck are you? And he's dressed in preppy clothes and it's hilarious. So highly recommend it.
The thing is that you cannot stream Parks and Rec anywhere right now unless you have Peacock.
Peacock, yeah. That's how I've been watching it. So
yeah, we canceled Peacock once we figured out Yellowstone wasn't on there.
Well, that's what pisses me off is that you can watch Yellowstone only season 4 on Hulu. You're like, God damn it! Well, I want to watch season 1.
Well, it's like I think I ranted about this before our last podcast. Is why is TV so fucking hard to watch now? It's like, you got to fucking be kidding me! It's like, okay, I got to. It's like. It used to be,
I mean, you don't always have to watch it all at once, you know.
But no, I'm saying is sometimes you can't. Like, it's like okay, it's like when I got Peacock for free, I go, okay, good, I'll watch these shows. I can watch one episode. That's it. Bullshit.
So I recently re-upped my contract with Verizon Fios for my internet. What I did was I canceled my account which was currently like at this account that I've had up until now actually was under my wife's name. So I called up. I said, "Hi, my name is Amanda. I need you to cancel my account." Which
I'm Amanda.
Nowadays, you can't fucking say anything, right?
Exactly. You're right. You're
right. I think just in general.
So, no, but very specifically now, you wouldn't be able to call anybody out on that. I think that I probably would have been called out on that years ago. But
in the 80s, 90s, you'd been called out.
But so I canceled my account and signed up for a new one to get like the new member perks or whatever. So I got a free year of Disney Plus, but I'm like, fuck, well, I've already paid for it, so I can't use it.
Can't you just stockpile that stuff?
No, you can't. I tried. I won't let you because it's specifically linked to whatever. And then I got a year subscription to AMC Plus, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I looked at it, and I go, there's fucking nothing on AMC. It's like The Walking Dead. And Mad Men. I can watch The Walking Dead and fucking Mad Men. I'm like, well,
those would be the shows.
Re-up wasn't really worth anything, but I also got a $200 Visa gift card though, so that works.
There was that one show that they tried to create right near the end of Mad Men when it was on AMC, and I'm trying to remember what it was called, but it was kind of like a mystery Lost kind of show, and it just
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called, you know, but it just kind of didn't. It was like a one-word kind of show.
It's funny how like AMC for a while there was like the It network, and then they just completely died because like the last thing they did that was any good was like Halt and Catch Fire, and that was nowhere near.
And also the Americans. I stopped watching that show before it got good. The Americans I gave up on. I couldn't stand.
I love the Americans.
I couldn't when the Russians started killing people. I can't root for these people anymore.
Right.
When they started killing Americans.
Yeah. I grew up in the Cold War. I understood.
We all technically grew up in the Cold War.
Yeah, I know.
But I understood what was going on during the Cold War. You guys are just.
We didn't live in fear of like an atomic bomb because.
Oh come on! I grew up in the '60s. Fuck you and the atomic bomb. You know, you have no idea. You have no idea.
Jack still has the scars from all this, the
duck and cover. Yeah, you get hit with books and stuff like that.
Just at fast speeds. Yeah.
You don't need a bomb shelter. You just need
your turtle shell on.
Go ahead, Nick. What were you gonna say?
Oh, well, fuck, I forget. Oh, but anyway, yeah, because Matt, Chris, and I were all roughly 10 when the wall came down.
When the wall Come tumbling down.
Yeah. I remember.
Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
I mean, am I the only one? Have y'all ever been to Berlin? It's really neat to see the what's left of the wall and check by Charlie and all that.
My dad was born in Berlin.
Oh, cool.
East Berlin, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
I've been to East Berlin, Pennsylvania.
That was a super dad joke, and I can't believe we fucking fell for it.
That was fucking awful. Terrible.
You didn't say Berlin, Germany. Did you?
He's still going. He's still going.
Did you?
Okay, yeah. When I say Paris, I mean Paris, Tennessee. Yeah. When I say Athens, I mean Athens, Georgia.
I have been to Paris. Yeah, that is true. I've been to Paris, Tennessee. I've seen the Eiffel Tower in Paris, actually.
You went to Paris, Tennessee? Why would you go there?
Well, we were down in that area to watch the eclipse.
Oh yeah, a couple years ago.
And some friends of ours had gotten an Airbnb this cabin there. Except it wasn't a cabin; it was an old fish restaurant. Yeah. That they converted. It was so weird. And
you're very close to Big Sandy, then. Yeah.
And then we drove up into the area, the Twin Lake kind of region. There,
land between the lakes.
Land between the lakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like Twin Lakes.
I mean, you're in my home area, so that's why I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, leaving that area after the eclipse was a nightmare unto itself. That's some apocalyptic kind of level.
A lot of traffic.
Insanity.
No
traffic.
A lot of Confederate
so
flags.
much traffic. It was fucking nuts. It was
a lot of Confederate flags.
We just stayed off of the main highway because it was bumper to bumper, not moving.
Did you say you were a fan of Sherman? Too soon.
I actually, when I drove back to Tennessee for the holidays, and I actually purposely drove through Cairo.
Oh, you drove?
I drove, yeah, because I needed to pick up stuff from my parents' house to bring back here, so it just made sense.
Oh yeah.
But I drove actually through Cairo, Illinois, which is a little tip of the southern part of Illinois.
Cairo.
Cairo. And I drove
just
down.
The tip?
Yeah, just the tip. That's all you need.
Did it sting to you?
Did it feel good?
It did feel good. Yeah, but the thing is, you can't just do the tip, But anyway.
Did you get some milk while you were there?
Yeah. But I wanted to drive. I wanted to drive through that part of Kentucky because I wanted to see where the tornado went through.
Oh yeah, thanks. That was good. That bring it back to that.
Way to bring it back to shut the fuck up.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So anyway, but it's weird. If anyone, because it was an F5, it was a huge fucking tornado. So to see,
I think I saw one just here recently. Yeah, blew through the studio. It was fucking. I don't give a fuck about you, Matt. Yeah,
it was a Carson Wentz.
It was an F.
Carson Wentz tornado, right?
I just like that Chris is up there.
How about we get back to shut the fuck up?
Wow.
That went from fucking 0 to 100 real quick.
I wanted to know what you guys got for Christmas, but okay. So
I didn't get a thing. I didn't get one thing. It's sad.
Yeah, I'm wearing it. Actually,
I'm wearing it.
I'm wearing mine too.
My daughter got me this. My Tatis jersey.
My wife got me this.
Best player in baseball.
Matching pants too. It's a whole suit kind of thing,
What are you showing, Chris? I don't think we want to see what you're trying to show.
Good, yeah, God, Chris, be careful with your next choices.
Pull it down. That looks nice. That looks very comfy too. That
have you stopped doing sit-ups?
You're muted, Chris. Just FYI.
I had so many more explanations to what I was doing on camera a minute ago. No, this is it's a hoodie from Paca, which is made from alpaca wool and shit.
Oh, okay.
It's an overpriced internet company, but they're super comfortable, and they got thumb holes.
Oh,
I love thumb holes.
Is that good?
Yeah,
especially
I love those things. I got a hoodie like that too. Yeah. Oh God, they're great. Yeah.
Really?
Dude, where you been?
Okay, I don't get the point of the thumb.
The thumb, because it keeps your hand warmer.
It keeps your hand. It's like having gloves without having gloves, and then your sleeve doesn't go roll up your arm. You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's great.
Well, I easily pull my sleeves up, so.
Oh.
Well, it's the San Diego.
Yeah, for a T-shirt or for a shirt, but not for your hoodie. If you're wearing a hoodie,
You're all
then
the
it's
way
gonna be a
down
little chilly.
south.
You're
way down south.
Hey, we're supposed to get an ice storm this weekend.
Hey, come to the.
Good luck.
First it said snow, and now it's ice. Then it's going to turn to rain and wash it all away.
Speaking of that, like you want to talk about one of the happiest moments of my life is I drove all the way from Tennessee back home, and I had to book it. And we'd gotten snow all throughout Colorado over the break.
Cops were on you.
Yeah, just fuck you, coppers.
Shut the fuck up.
Some lovely neighbor, I don't know who yet, plowed or shoveled my entire driveway.
Wow.
And so I didn't have to get out of my car and do it when I got home.
Crap.
And I want to know so badly who did it, because I was like, dude, I owe you money.
It was me.
And because it was a good 5 or 6 inches or more of snow.
Who did this?
And if you saw my driveway, you don't want to voluntarily shovel
your drive what?
Huh?
Driveway.
Okay, thank you.
Driveway.
Driveway.
Well, and hopefully it was a woman that did it too, and this could be a meet cute.
Okay.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm thinking of meet
that's
cute.
incredible that someone would do that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing, because like I'm the youngest
Could be
person
a man
in
and
my
a
entire
cute.
neighborhood.
They definitely went to the wrong house.
No. The next one. Oh,
I told the story. My first year.
That nice.
My first year here in Raleigh, we had a neighbor a couple of doors down was from Buffalo, and he brought like beer, and we would go to house to house to house and shovel everyone's driveway and just drink beer the whole way. I said, yeah, I like this tradition.
That's a cool idea. Yeah.
I did that in my last neighborhood. We had like there's two of the old school big ass snow blowers, and I had this little small apartment size one. There's like a little had like the plastic flaps on it, which does a fucking bang up job. But we'd go up and down the street and just take care of everyone's driveway, and I would be like the finisher, come through and like clean it all up because it's the rubber flap
the finisher.
Yeah,
And you were saying the rubber thing.
You weren't the fluffer, you were the finisher.
So
that's right. Yeah, I get the fucking job done.
Yeah. You're there for this. You're there for the scene.
But by the last driveway, we're all fucking hammered.
Yeah,
we're all just drinking and doing it.
You watch TikTok, Chris. You see the guy this old guy shoveling snow, and his son hits a snowblower and sprays it with all this snow.
Yeah,
awesome. He's so pissed off. The fuck you doing?
Anyway. I love my snowblower.
Yeah,
the best thing in the world.
The first time you got it, you didn't need it, right? Because there was no snow or something.
Yeah, I didn't need it the first year I bought it, but I bought an Aaron's snowblower. I think it's fucking amazing. I had it in the shed all year long. I pulled it out and brought it to the driveway, and it started up beautifully on one pull.
Nice.
Still talking about snowblower?
One pull. No, one pull.
Fucking one pull.
One pull, and I was done.
That was good.
Thanks, Kim. It is a nice.
I didn't have to use the joke.
Yeah, like I think I told you guys this a while back. Like, when I bought my house, my realtor gave me a $500 gift card to a local
dude, what the fuck,
dispensary.
Man? People are giving you money. They're giving you gifts when they buy their house, and they're shoveling your driveway. I need to move to Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, the realtor just gave me a gift card to our local, outdoor whatever store, and I was like, well, I know I'm doing this, and I immediately bought a snowblower. I was like, because if not, I would have blown it on something else. And
yeah, which one did you get?
On hose.
Shit.
He would have blown it on hose.
I brought on cocaine and hookers.
Do you have a snowblower, Matt?
Yeah, I do. Well, did we get rid of?
I'll send you a picture, Chris. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll send you a picture.
I think we still have it, although we may have gotten rid of it because it just belts out gas onto you like exhaust. And like, it's like
I supposed to do that, dude.
Somebody got a match?
No. I mean, it's just like the gas exhaust. Like, it just gets on you. After,
I just picture Matt coming in from fishing the driveway, just covered in shit. just like from head to toe, he's like dripping like brown, like snow, and like ice coming.
Get in the shower. Go on. No, usually I have snowblowed our alleyway. There's another guy that has done our alleyway as well. But yeah, it comes up.
What about the dead people next door? Has anyone bought that house yet?
That.
Has anyone bought that house yet?
No, there's people that live there in that place.
I thought it was a rental and they left the place.
It's the burbs, man.
No, okay, so it was a rental, and then a family came in, ripped out the walls, weird ghost activity. Then it died down. No, it just sat vacant, and then another family came in, renovated the whole thing. Like he was like a house restorer person, restored it, and then they bounced. It was like he was going to the north side.
That's right. Yeah.
And then the current owners bought it from him. And so
have you told them there's dead bodies there?
I would not do that to them. Like, hey, dude, you know where you swim? Yeah. Like where you have your pop-up.
So they swim over the dead bodies? Man, that's
somewhere right around in that area. You can Google Earth this. Like the backyard.
I still feel like I should send them a letter saying, "Hey, there's dead bodies in the backyard."
No, you do not. Nobody needs to know that.
Why? It should be. The realtor should have to say, "Okay, there are some dead bodies back here."
It goes, well,
would you buy a house knowing there were dead bodies in your backyard?
Well,
I very specifically did not buy a house that was located next to a cemetery.
Okay. Now, another hypothetical. Would you want some random person to contact you via letter and let you know that there are dead bodies buried in the back of your yard?
Yes, I would, because that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I have two.
I wouldn't disclose that information.
I have two dogs buried in the backyard.
Look, yeah. I will say this. At some point, and if it ever comes up, I will say, hey, back over there.
How long have they lived there?
I don't know. Who counts the years?
So it's been years?
4?
I think Jimmy Hoffa's buried there.
You haven't told them there's dead body? I mean, you're shitty neighbor.
You know what? I don't really. Yeah, he's been there long enough because he's been there. Yeah, so probably 6 years, maybe 7.
6 years, and he doesn't know there's dead bodies.
Why would I tell him? Because
it's the right thing. I mean, come on.
All right. Well, you know what I'm going to tell you? This is the wrong conversation to have because this is just boring as shit, and nobody wants to hear you pick on me about this.
I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying.
No, you are.
A good neighbor would say, "Hey, there's dead bodies."
I think Matt has something to hide. He's always defensive about it.
I never thought about that.
It's not even his property, and he defends.
You haven't thought about that? That's literally all the fuck I've thought about. I'm kind of like
really
worried about Matt.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together because that's why he doesn't want us doing the Netflix special.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing to do. There's nothing to talk about. Yes, there was some ghost activity at some point in time. I'm not going to do that in any time and let my daughter know any of these things happen because I don't want her to be freaked out.
I'm not saying I
don't want her to lose respect for you. Daddy's a serial killer. But I got you.
No. But thanks for that.
He was a quiet guy, nice guy, artist. Never thought he'd be the serial killer.
No, don't throw that artist. Artists.
This one model just stepped over the line, and Matt, just went a little bit too far with it, and accidents happen.
Let's see his history on his computer.
So watch the IT Crowd. Check that show out, and. What do you say? We should probably close out this show, maybe. I guess.
Why you just wanted to cut it right then? That's not suspicious at all.
I wanted to know what you guys got for Christmas, and I
know
guess
what you did last summer.
Exactly. You didn't get anything cool or fun, Nick? My dad, slipped me a Mickey or something.
No, my parents basically for the last 4 years have basically said, "Hey, you're hard to shop for, so we don't get you anything." I'm like, "Cool," and so they did.
Why wouldn't they just get you Legos?
No, and that's the thing is, I always say that to them, like, "Hey, I like Legos, and I want this set comes out January 1st because that's when there's no really Legos that get dropped in December. They get dropped in October or January 1st, and so I'm like, hey, the new module's coming out in January."
Remix.
And then well, it comes out January 1st, and I can do that, but they don't go, oh, we'll give you $200. No, because they're like, we want something for you to open on Christmas. I'm like, well, it doesn't come out till January 1st, so they don't get me anything. They don't even give me the money to buy it. I'm like, well, fuck you then. And so my sister is the only person that got me. She got me the the Thor's apartment there from. Did I break up again?
Oh yeah.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh,
I know what you're talking about. The Thor apartment.
Apartment, yeah. So that's the only thing I got for Christmas was that little. Like,
how did you get an apartment from this?
This is me thinking out loud.
But how did it back get?
I'm not tingling balls or anything.
Because that's what I thought. I go
because I've been shopping Legos.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. I apologize.
But I did order though the new modular. It came in last week. I haven't opened it or anything, but
I like my Nick should have asked for parents for better Wi-Fi.
It was out of stock. Thanks for catching up there, Jack.
My chat is delayed. I'm sorry.
Well, the thing is, this only happens when I'm doing this. Like when I'm demoing, it doesn't happen because I don't turn my camera on. So I assume that it's the upload because of the 4 videos that causes the lag.
Yeah, it could be it.
Do you need a better Wi-Fi like router?
No, I tried that, and it did work briefly, but it would often cut off the internet because basically the service provider would go into their router, and then I have to have a better router, and it just didn't work.
Should affect Matt more than you because Matt's hosting the show.
Have you tried cocaine? Just sprinkle it on the router, and the router's like, "Yeah, we got this." It's like, I don't know why I mentioned that, but
who knows? One day I'll get good internet. It could be, we're old and gray at that point. We'll know who actually killed Kennedy.
I remember when Jack used to be on this show.
Old and gray. I'm way past being gray. So
well, you don't even have gray. You're just skin at that point now, Jack.
Yeah. I am.
I remember everyone out there
liver spots.
Yeah, I knew Jack when he had dark black hair. That's how long I've known Jack, and now he doesn't have any because he shaves his head. But
I shave it. Man.
Yeah,
I knew you before you had that green horn growing out above your eyebrow.
It does. It sucks how hair just grows everywhere but on top of your head.
Exactly.
Ear hair, nose hair. It's like I snort.
The nose hair.
It's like I'm snorting Miracle Grow.
Mm-hmm.
The hair just grows like crazy.
And you know it when you're wearing a mask because there's nothing like
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You're like going,
yes.
Now, I got a nose hair.
I don't know if it's ever happened to you, but if you actually go to a proper barber, they'll shave you, they'll cut your neck hairs, all that stuff like that. And I remember sitting down for the first time somewhere in my late 20s. The fucker actually took the whatever they call them, the shears. I wasn't sure if that's the proper term, but yeah, and he did my eyebrows like that. And I was like, "What the fuck did you just do? Did you cut my eyebrows?" Like I've never had someone actually cut, trim my eyebrows.
I give you the symbol of my people.
Yeah.
You know what that means though is if you've never had it happen, he even asked your permission, which means
they were fucking long.
They were long, yeah. And I was like, oh fuck. Yeah.
We gotta
he's like I'm doing you a solid, bro. Just shut the
I
fuck up.
I have this one eyebrow here. It's one hair that just keeps growing like this, longer than the other. I go, what the fuck?
My wife would always pull it when we were driving because she would notice me. I'm driving.
That's more dangerous than texting and driving.
She would come up and pull it, and I'm like, I'm driving here.
Yeah.
So,
and
but
you're pulling a root out of my skin.
Yeah,
exactly. That's painful.
We were stopped. I'm like, no.
Oh, you just said you were driving.
No, I was driving. Okay. Yeah, okay. We were moving, but yeah, the Lego sets though. I know what you mean, and that boutique motel had gone out of stock, and so I was like, but now it's back in stock.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So
there's a bunch actually that I've got on my wish list that are all of them. Like for the last month and a half, have been out of stock. It's just I don't know if it's just because gas is so expensive, or maybe just demand in Legos has just shot up. I have no idea, but it's crazy.
Well, there's shortages everywhere. Them into the U.S. as well, so you have like the U.S. distribution centers. So it could have to deal with that. One thing I discovered, and it is definitely bit me in the ass a couple times, is StockX. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that app.
I sold a pair of Crocs on StockX.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
You sold some used Crocs?
It is kind of like a different style of eBay. But
what's it called? StockX?
StockX.
Yeah, so StockX, there's another one called the GOAT as well. And there are two services that specialize in selling authentic products, and typically things that people buy up to try and resell. So their StockX's biggest bit is with like sneakers,
shoes.
So like,
and they
it's like
authenticate them as well,
So
because
all
there's
these people
there's
are
a lot of
stealing
forgeries with shoes.
Right. So all the people stealing shoes at department stores are selling them on StockX.
No. So as an example, like I bought, because I got in line for online for a like a limited release of Post Malone Crocs, and I was like, all right, I'll try and get them. I
Sam
bought
Malone?
them. Nope.
Post Malone.
Post Malone.
Okay.
Stay with us, Jack.
Well, I figured it was Boston. He was a big fan of Sam Malone.
No, you're explaining this way.
I understood totally what both of that sides of that conversation was. It's like, the Sam Malone beer stain, cum stain shoes. Yeah.
Well, they have. So Nick,
Anyways,
you might be.
I fucking sold those fucking Crocs on StockX for like twice as much.
And Nick, you can put in a bid on things that are Lego related, and sometimes you can get some things a little less than what they're going for retail, or what they're going for on Amazon even.
So it's kind of like a lesser known eBay.
Yeah, it is kind of like eBay for sure, but it's dangerous because you could put a bid on something and somebody that's selling something says, I'm going to take this bid because whatever the shipping is for it, or however they've calculated it. And so you could be like, let's just say so-and-so, that's not me. And you might say, hey, I really want that Lego Mos Eisley Cantina set. That's like $350. I mean, that's like a big mamma jamma. But I'm only willing to spend
mamma jamma?
I'm only willing to spend $280, And maybe somebody will take up a bid, But the lowest ask right now is at like $320 or something, and you're like, I'm good.
So $320, and you offer $280.
Yeah, or maybe it was $350, and I was offering $280. But there was a higher bid. There was a higher bid than me. There was a higher bid than me that was at $300. So there was like already like bids in. So multiple people can put in bids, but that means if somebody goes for somebody ahead of you in line, they could always still pick you as well. And so I had something that I just had sitting there, and then sure enough it sold, or I bought, but I was kind of like, oh shit, wasn't really expecting to hit on that right now. I was thinking like maybe next month, so
that's why your wife pulls out your eyebrows.
No, I think that's on the credit card that will have to be paid off on my next pay period. But I was like, that was a little bit of a surprise. So there are some expensive sets on there, as well as modulars that you can sometimes, if somebody is willing to take your bid, you can get for.
But did they have because my wife works at Kohl's, and they have a big problem with people coming with shopping carts and putting all the shoes in the shopping cart and just walking out the door, and they can't do anything about it. So are people I always wonder, I go, where are these people selling the shoes that they're stealing? And like the jeans and the clothes and all the stuff that you see all the time because people literally walk out of Kohl's. She says they have the car waiting there, usually have the license plate off, put the stuff in the trunk, and just drive away.
Wow. And
so I was wondering, so it must be like StockX that they're selling this stuff on, right?
Did you guys see? Just because you're saying stealing stuff, did you guys? Is one? I'm not sure.
I'm not stealing anything.
Okay, maybe I should say borrowing, because I don't want to prejudge people.
Well, I don't know if you saw the story. I thought it was brilliant, and I don't know if it's true or not.
Brilliant.
But it was some person in California, like owned a Walgreens, or maybe it was just a mom and pop shop. But because if it's below $995, $995, it's just a misdemeanor.
Right.
So what the guy did is he put every single item in the store at $1,000, and then you have to bring it to the counter and then he scans it for a coupon, and it all drops it back down to the original price. And so it's like, so if you grab it and walk out of the store with it, then it's a felon because it was $1,000.
Wow, really?
I was like, that's a pretty good idea, actually.
Because because maybe Kim and John can.
I don't know if it would stick.
I'm like, and would they honor the coupon? So,
anyway, well, I know I don't know about you,
Mike.
guys.
I'll go ahead and do that. What can make that happen?
The Home Depot I go to they have started. They're starting to lock up the high price items. I mean, they have like a cable through them or something like that. You can't just walk out with it.
So just speaking to Chris, so we got a comment from my Mike about Chris's spitting seeds. What flavor you got tonight, Chris?
Straight up,
Just original.
Have you tried Have you tried the bacon ones?
I'm a purist. I'm not a big fan. Actually, the dill flavor one's pretty good, but
I don't like the dill ones. But have you tried the bacon ones?
No,
they're really good.
I think the first one was barbecue, wasn't it? Like that's the first.
Yeah, barbecue is the first flavor. Yeah. And I often liked ranch, but they made your breath smell like shit.
I'm a big fan of the Frito-Lay sunflower seeds. To be honest with you.
Frito-Lay.
So yeah, this is my new vice.
Yep.
But I was kind of wondering, yeah. So
because I buy like the package of all of these in there, so I've got like tons of them. That's what I do now because I still have not had any nicotine.
That is awesome.
Good job.
Yeah.
This is too weird. I can't have me down.
Wow, you're on the bottom. It is weird seeing you on the bottom. Yeah.
This seems to be our natural tendency. It's weird how this is like a science experiment in some kind of way, right?
Right.
Like how do we, what if this is politically how we would graph on a chart? We would be in these quadrants.
I can see Chris. I can see Chris and I, yes, but like you two, I can't see you being authoritarian left, man.
I am authoritarian left. Jack is authoritarian right.
Right.
I'm gonna go charge the Capitol.
Mike says definitely much healthier than vaping. So
especially since he was stoned the whole time.
Not really.
Oh.
I mean, it's probably worse. I mean, the amount of sodium is like it's terrible. Actually,
all
that water weight. I mean,
yeah,
I have no idea.
I don't know what you're talking about, but sure.
I used to be because when I was a Charger fan, I used to have to eat. I would eat sunflower seeds during Charger games.
Yeah, we've had this conversation before. Same, like all through high school, I would be like Chris, like had packs of sunflower seeds everywhere, and I had to quit eventually.
My nickname growing up was Flower, and it's because sunflower.
You always say that, and I'm like, are we sure that's?
Yeah, I'm just because I eat
sunflower. You were like a child of the '60s, and I just imagine you like, come on, Flower.
It's back when he had free flowing, like beautiful hair, and he was wearing those short shorts, and women just were all over him, and like, you're that little Flower, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those were the days. Now old, decrepit, and talking to three guys on Thursday night. But I love you guys. I love you guys.
Love you.
Seeing that. So good.
I was actually looking forward to this.
No, I was looking forward to it too. Except for I enjoyed just having a break. Like I turned work off for a solid week, and as I've come back into work, I'm trying to kind of maintain, as Chris would point out, boundaries. Like times in which you do stuff, times in which I'm answering emails, times in which I'm like, Sunday, I'm not answering that fucking email. Like, fuck you, I'm off. Like,
I took the next 6 days off.
Speaking of breaks, we should probably take another break.
Break me off a piece of that
Kit Kat bar.
You know what? Next week I'm gonna record eating barbecue sunflower seeds.
All right, I'll get some.
We need to take a break. Oh, 157.
And
right back from that break.
Okay, we're good.
The end of the show.
So, thanks. What a great segue.
Because my wife and I do the Amazing Race. I actually post the whole show, even the commercial. I figured out how to do it.
Oh, you did? Maybe you should produce this show.
No.
Can you?
No.
I
do the Amazing Race, and that's it. That's all I have.
And why wouldn't you? Oh, hey, we actually had an email, and
we did. Wow.
And I don't have my phone on me. Something.
Is it Randy's joke?
Find it. I'll find it. Is it? Hopefully,
it's Randy's joke.
Okay.
It's Randy's joke. So
I think Randy fell asleep. I haven't seen Randy in the chat in a while.
He probably fell asleep. He'll listen to this on. Okay. You can always join us live on YouTube. Nick, did you get it? Did you get it up? Did you get it up yet?
Yeah, I did get it. It's a Randy. Yeah.
Did you get it up?
It's Like, yeah, it's a Randy Star Wars joke.
It's rare, Randy. It's shocking that he's asleep.
What's the difference between Boba Fett and a time machine operated by Marty McFly?
A fucking better show.
Wait, okay, what is it? Okay, what's the difference between Boba Fett and a time machine operated by Marty McFly?
Yeah.
It totally makes sense after I read the answer.
I can't think of it.
You got that. So what is the time machine that Marty McFly operates?
One's a Mandalorian.
And one's a Dandalorian.
And one's a Mandalorian and one's a manned DeLorean.
Oh,
yeah.
DeLorean. But
yeah.
Well, if you like what we do, and why wouldn't you? If you want to write in a better
up
joke
until that
than Randy,
point,
send it to rcadcast@gmail.com. We'd like to thank some patrons that make this show possible at this time. I did some last minute names, which I think Chris enjoys the best.
Let's hear them.
So here we go. I'm going to hold these up here for you. So,
God, can't see that.
Post-it note, Tack. On a post-it note. Oh, guess what? This one's another one on a post-it note. It says, Eckhart Richter, the coffee cup.
Wait, before you go on, you had like a whole month.
Ed, the stapler.
Oh, yeah. Did I misspell stapler?
Fucking horribly.
It's a staph infection from the stapler.
A whole month?
I fucking refuse to read these.
What?
These are the most. These are the laziest things.
This is the worst you've ever done.
Like, fuck you, Matt.
I thought, mate, this one was the best. I thought
that's the worst. Are you serious? You literally just picked an object from the room and just said,
"Hey, start calling you Brick."
Yeah,
Joanne the Pin.
Yeah, see, you just literally picked objects and put a name to it.
So obviously you forgot you had to do this.
Maggie the microphone.
A month, and you had some post-it notes, and you said, "I'm just gonna wing it."
I did. I thought you guys wouldn't notice. I thought. I have been crocheting, okay?
Oh, Randy's awake.
And this is something that I've been passing the time with.
Wait, you've really been crocheting?
You really made those?
Yeah, I made
those.
See,
if you're a really dedicated fucking host, you've had 3 weeks to crochet the fucking Patreon people some shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Like that should be like Maggie the fucking cross stitch.
Is this the 70s? You're crocheting?
I just
even John, the Mexican UPS guy, says lazy producing.
Yeah. Look, when you murder people, Jack, you need to have something to keep your mind occupied.
That's true. I forgot about that. Maybe you can do one rest in peace, dead people.
All right. I'll see you guys next week. This was a great show. It was 1 in a million. I hope you like what we did, because that's what we did.
Should have given the patrons names of celebrities that we lost recently.
Why? That's so macabre. That's so macabre. What? That's so.
I didn't. I'm not saying it. Miami Mike said it. I'm just repeating what listeners saying.
Well, join us next week.
Macabre's one of those words you hear once a year, and I think I just got my quota for 2022. Macabre.
Well, in a non sequitur way, I want to just close out the show right now.
Really?
And I'm doing it. Good night. Thanks for joining us live, everyone in the chat.
See you next Tuesday.
Love you.